We all know AI is exploding, right? It's getting more powerful every single day. But here's the thing. That incredible growth comes with this massive hidden cost, a cost that's hitting our planet hard. So today, we're going to look at a solution that is, well, quite literally out of this world. So that brings us to this wild idea. Is the future of AI actually written in the stars? I mean, to solve AI's biggest problems here on Earth, do we really need to look up? It sounds a little like science fiction, I know, but let's dive in. Okay, so first things first. We gotta wrap our heads around the real problem here on the ground, because the very foundation that modern AI is built on, well, it's about to hit a massive wall, a physical one. And this image, wow, it really captures the heart of the issue. You gotta remember, every time you use an AI, every chat, every image it makes, that's all happening inside a massive data center somewhere. And these places are just insanely power hungry. They're pushing our electrical grids to their absolute limits and need a staggering amount of cooling just to keep running. So let's get specific. What exactly is pushing our current tech to the breaking point? Well, it really all boils down to two huge, simple problems: power and heat. So on the one hand, you've got power. These AI data centers are just guzzling electricity, putting this incredible strain on our grids. And yeah, we have renewables, but the sun isn't always shining, the wind isn't always blowing, so we end up relying on these giant, inefficient batteries. Then you've got the other monster: heat. These machines get so incredibly hot, they need industrial-scale air conditioning and use a ton of water just to stop themselves from literally melting down. Which brings us to this key phrase right here. The whole system is under so much pressure. It's like a pressure cooker that's about to blow. Experts are saying we desperately need a release valve to let some of that pressure off before the whole thing breaks. Okay, so if the problem is here on Earth, what if the answer isn't? This is where the story takes a really cool turn, and we start looking up to space for the solution. And this comparison just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you see the problem. The hot, smoky, resource-draining data center stuck here on the ground. And on the right, the solution: a clean, sleek data center satellite, powered by the sun, just floating in orbit. So why is this such a game changer? Let's tick through the advantages. First off, in orbit, you get solar power 24/7. No clouds, no night, just constant, clean energy. But honestly, the real magic bullet here is the cooling. In the vacuum of space, you get something called radiative cooling. It's basically a fancy way of saying space itself acts like a giant, perfect, and totally free refrigerator. It is the ultimate renewable setup, and maybe the only sustainable path forward for AI. Okay, this sounds amazing, right? Almost too good to be true. But is it just a cool idea on a whiteboard, or can we actually do it? Well, you're gonna love this. Someone just went and proved it. A mission just wrapped up that made this whole vision a reality. And it all kicked off right here, with this rocket launch. A satellite called StarCloud-1 was sent into orbit, and on board was an absolute beast of a GPU, an NVIDIA H100. We're talking top-of-the-line AI hardware. And the mission? It was as simple as it was bold: train an entire AI model from scratch while in orbit. So how'd it go? It was a complete, unqualified success. Up there in the cold of space, they successfully trained a language model called Nano-GPT. This wasn't just a small test. This was a historic moment that proved, without a doubt, that high-performance AI compute is totally possible in space. And then came the best part: the payoff. After the model was fully trained, it sent its first message back home to Earth. And what did it say? "Hello, Earthlings!" Just think about that. A message from an AI that wasn't created on our planet, but was literally born among the stars. So, what does this all mean? Where do we go from here? Because this is way more than just a neat science project. The long-term implications here are, well, they're massive for AI and for our planet. It brings us back to this incredible idea, the orbital release valve. The concept is pretty simple. You take the heaviest, most energy-hungry work, like training these giant AI models, and you just move it off planet. Doing that would act as this huge relief for our overloaded power grids and our dwindling water supplies. And that's really the bottom line here. This one successful mission has opened the door to a future where our most important AI infrastructure isn't even on Earth. It's a blueprint for getting around those huge energy and heat problems that are holding AI back. letting it grow in a way that doesn't break our planet. Which leaves us with one last mind-bending question to think about. We've seen the proof. We know it can be done. So the question isn't if anymore, it's when. How long will it be until the world's biggest, most powerful data centers aren't on Earth at all, but are just quietly orbiting right above our heads?